Galamera, Galamera, Galamera. How are you today? Well, what a day. What a miserable looking day. Just to let you know that last night there was a strong weather warning put out by the Greek weather forecasters. Strong winds and storms are going to be crossing the island, heading up towards Thrace and up to Macedonia by later. We're expecting the real heavy weather to hit here about 12 o'clock. So to be honest, for the tourists here, I think it is a morning of having cooked breakfasts and hanging out somewhere in a bar while the weather is going on. It's not looking good. I've got to be honest, it's very, very grim. So of course there's no washing out this morning or anything else like that. Nice to see people already joining us this morning, which is really good. Let's have a quick look. The chickens have been up on the stairs this morning. Yep. And for those people interested in the cats, the two normal characters are here chilling out. We've got the lovely Mr. Boots down there, had a little chill. Oh, little Herbert, I missed you there. You were quite camouflaged in. We had a bit of a panic this morning because little Herbert wasn't about, but he didn't appear from nowhere, so we were quite relieved about that. And then down here, it's Graham. Yeah, there you go. I know Kicking Karaoke tuning in. Name this fella after Graham, all right, our friend who passed away last year. Bless him, there he is. Oh, anyway, right, what's been going on then? Right, I'll tell you what, let me just switch myself around so you can see my dulcet face. Hang on a minute, that's switching round now. Yeah, there we go, switching round. Quite a bit's been going on. First of all, I've got to just say about my mum. Got a phone call from my brother yesterday. Mum went into hospital yesterday morning. She then went and had a procedure yesterday afternoon. Everything went well. Can I just say that the hospital staff, from what my brother says, were absolutely fantastic. They went above and beyond yesterday. They did certain little bits of surgery as well. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but the hospital staff were absolutely brilliant. The people in the nursing home, they also were really good as well, getting mum ready to go. And once again, looking forward next Tuesday to going over and being able to see her in the flesh, as it were, and obviously talk to her. I haven't seen her since January, and I think there's a lot of other people in that situation at the moment as well. I know things aren't looking very good in the UK with London locking down and all the other stuff that's going on, but at least hopefully I'll get over and I will see her. So once again, thank you to Simon, thank you to Yolanda, his wife, who's also been taking of my mum as well and done a lot and gone above and beyond as well. And hopefully, yeah, we'll all meet up next week at some point and be able to do a bit of family time, which will be really cool. Can I say a quick shout out to my son Michael as well? Nice to chat to you as well, fella. And again, hopefully we can meet up because at the moment I know it's awkward for you with everything that's going on with the restrictions in London. But anyway, we shall wait and see. Right, so what's been going on then? First of all, then, can I just say today is a broadcast day. I'll be broadcasting my recorded show sometime this afternoon. Jane and I have got a luncheon appointment, first of all, in Kalamaki. And as soon as that luncheon appointment is done, Jane's rushing off to Lidl. I'm rushing off into town to 34, where they got brilliant internet upload. And then the show will start going out as a rebroadcast, semi-live, i.e. the show goes out, but I'm sat just monitoring and chatting in the chat room as well for Mixcloud and also for YouTube, for Facebook and Twitch. And obviously, if you get a direct link to the show, it means that your request is actually in the show. All right. And to start putting, I'm not going to be making any more shows now, radio shows that is, until after I come back from the UK, because obviously with the time factor and me going away, it's probably not going to be possible to do that. But you never know, I might just try and squeeze one final one in. I'll see how things go. Right then, the COVID numbers then, as of yesterday, we've had 453 new cases of COVID, 63 with associated other known cases. 27 of those were from ports of entry, i.e. coming through either airports or through, you know, the ferries. So at the moment, we've had a grand total of 23,947 cases total since the pandemic crisis started. At the moment, there are 82 people in the ICU. Still no word on the bus driver here in Zakynthos as to what his state of health is like and as to where he is, whether he's still here on the island or whether he's been moved. But there's been no reports in the local news about him. Those people who are in the ICUs, the average age of those people are about 67 years of age, and they've all got other underlying health conditions as well. Unfortunately, we've had 13 more deaths since yesterday, bringing our total up to 482 since the pandemic started. And the average age of those people that passed away was 79 years of age. Plus, as well, they all had some underlying health condition. So there you go. Right. Now the story everybody's talking about at the moment here in Zakynthos and across Greece, the continuing saga of the Pielza trial over in Patra that's taking place for two men convicted of stealing 500,000 euros from our mayor, who was a mister at that time before he became a mayor, and the trial continues. Now, yesterday I said that there was a key witness who at the trial, who turned out to be a 30-year-old woman. She was a witness for the prosecution, and she repeated in court yesterday of the involvement of the former policeman who'd confessed to her that he took part in this robbery. And she then complained to the court that while she was in jail, and she was in jail on a drug offence, a lawyer from the defence came to see her and tried to put pressure on her for her to change her deposition from the first trial. She also said that she hinted, I'm using that word very carefully now, she hinted that the lawyer had also tried to bribe her as well. Anyway, this caused much excitement, the wording of the reporter, in the court as to what went on. Obviously, this is a serious offence against the defence attorneys, so therefore they were citing the credibility of the witness and her statement. They've also asked for the her deposition from an earlier trial to be brought into court for them to go over that. And also as well, they then decided to adjourn the trial as well. However, other witnesses were seen before the adjournment who gave a witness. In fact, I'm just trying to see how many were seen actually. I've thought I had the number written down. But anyway, other witnesses were seen before the adjournment. The trial is now being adjourned to the 22nd of October, which is quite fortuitous for me because I'm due to come back on the 23rd. So I'll have some news for you, hopefully by Friday. But anyway, yeah, the trial continues and it is getting very interesting at the moment. And for those people who are wondering what the trial is over, two men were convicted. One got 20 years, the other got 21 years. One was an Albanian, he got the 21 years. The one who was a former policeman who you thought would get the higher conviction, he got 20 years for robbing the local mayor, as he is now, of 500,000 euros. He was taking it to the bank to pay in and he was jumped by these guys. The money was stolen. The defence are saying that everything's been exaggerated. There wasn't that amount of money, and they're questioning where did the money come from, and also they've been questioning fact that was this used as a form of stunt. The incident was used as a form of stunt to enable him to get elected on the sympathy vote from the people here of Zakynthos when he ran for mayor's office. And I think about 2000 and I think it was about 2019 actually, because I remember voting for him actually as well in the last election. Anyway, so the trial continues. We'll see what happens, and let's move on to the next story then. Right, the next story again involving the mayor. He's a busy man, this guy. Mate should not want to be a mayor of the island. And this is to do with unpaid debts that have been incurred to the municipality, amounting to €50,000. Now, these are debts for unpaid rents of what in fact were public entities at the time. One of them being the Philharmonic, the KEP office. Now, what was the kind of dumb thing up until a few years ago was that you could have a building somewhere and you could rent that building to the local municipality on a rent. You knew that you were going to get your money. They would move in, open the office or whatever is department they wanted to run from there. And obviously, as a landlord, you were sitting pretty nicely, actually. However, with the economic downturn, with what's been going on, they've decided now that they've got to try and get as many public entities into what is public property and public buildings. Anyway, two of the public entities, I've already said, the municipality orchestra and also the KEP office, they obviously left their buildings where they were, and they were then moved into other buildings or donated a building. The municipality orchestra was given a building to use, which is been given to them by the church. The KEP office, as most people will know, that was then moved to what's called the Xena building, and that's just down behind the OTE building, and those are public buildings where they obviously there's no rent to pay. But anyway, there's been a case now where the landlords of the other two buildings that were owned or used by these authorities are now wanting their money, and it amounts in total to €50,000. Now, at the moment, the municipal council have been discussing this. The owners of the buildings obviously took it to court. The court has found in their favour that the municipality needs to pay them the money that they're owed. However, the municipal council has decided to go to an appeal, obviously to delay payment or try and cut the payment. But it also highlights the issue that I've already said about private landlords renting space to the municipality when there's enough empty buildings of the municipality not being used, and obviously that would be saving taxpayers money by using those buildings than paying landlords. Anyway, we shall see how that transpires and how that turns out. And looking for some good news? Well, yeah, I've got some good news, and I've also got some interesting history as well. First of all, the former Archbishop of Zakynthos, Archbishop Christianos, has been raving in the local press about the fact that this tender has come in from the Ministry of Culture, which means that work is going to start on the restoration of the Monastery of Strofades, which is off the coast of Zakynthos, about 27 miles. It sits there, a little island with a medieval monastery on, which is very imposing. Online. It looks a fascinating place and looks like a very interesting place to go and visit. I know I've wanted to go and visit it, but obviously every time there is an organised visit to go and see it, basically what happens is I'm working, and it always seems to be in the summer when the sea is at its calmest. But I did some research on the island yesterday out of curiosity, and I found a very nice story about the island. The island used to have an inhabitant on it, just one man, one monk living there, all by himself. His name was Father Gregorius. Unfortunately, Father Gregorius passed away in 2017, and he'd lived alone near enough on that island for 35 years. Yeah, he first went to the island in 1976. At that time, from 1976 till 1985, he had company. There was a lighthouse keeper. It seems the Strofades monastery had a lighthouse there, and there was a lighthouse keeper. So he had some company with the lighthouse keeper, and also a fisherman who would come and visit every 2 weeks to bring supplies, obviously for the lighthouse and also for the priest as well. And that was all going tickety-boo until about 1985, when they decided that they would automate the lighthouse. So that meant no lighthouse keeper, no fishermen coming to visit. So from that point onwards, up until 2014, when he actually was taken off the island due to ill health, he was effectively on his own, living on a diet of milk produced from his goats, stuff that he grew in his garden, and the occasional visit of a lone boat of tourists who would come over. He was probably still alive of the trips that used to go there in the summer, so people would obviously bring him stuff, bring him little treats and things like that, and that would keep him going until the next visit. But anyway, just a thought for that guy who spent 35 years on that island. I wonder what he would have made of today with the social distancing and all the hoo-ha around the virus. He was probably in one of the most safest places where he wasn't going to get any of the virus appearing. But I hope that when they spend this 11 million euros on the doing up of this building and reopening it to the public, hopefully as well, and also putting in a new port there, that's also on the cards. They don't forget Father Giorgio and give him a little memorial plaque or something there for sitting there for 30 looking after the place. He did actually leave the island once, and that was in 1997, and that was because there was an earthquake which was 6.6 on the Richter scale. It did some serious damage to the monastery, and he did have to flee the island for just a little bit because it wasn't safe, and he was taken off. He actual fact when he did become ill on his health, being on that island for 35 years, he actually went back to his village of Agala. And those people who know Agala, it's a lovely little village, more or less smack in the middle of the island. Jane and I have been up there many a time in the summer. They have a nice little art gallery up there that opens in the summer, and that's where he went back to, and he passed away in 2017, 3 years more or less after he'd come off the island. Right, so there you go. That's the news of today here on the beautiful island of Zakynthos. Well, it's beautiful, but it's dull and dank and horrible. Got to say a quick hello to a few people arriving today. Quick hello to Carol Walker. She's on her way over. Also, another lady by Louise. She's having problems with the PDF form at the moment. I'm dreading having to do the PDF form. I really am. Yeah, good to have you coming over. I'm sorry the weather isn't fantastic at the moment, but hopefully it will wash over us and the weather will improve and pick up. All right. Oh, and by the way, I got told yesterday as well that the Manchester flight on Tuesday was near enough full, and the other flight that came in had about 30 people on, and I can't remember where the other flight came from. But yeah, things are looking up. People are enjoying their holidays at the moment. A couple of places have reopened as well in Sillery. We get that last little bit of business if they're in that position to be able to do so and regenerate quickly. So all in all, yeah, that's it. Don't forget, it's the weekend now coming up as well. Anyway, just remind you, my show will be going out later this afternoon from the lovely 34 bar down in town. If you're on the island, pop down and see them. Go have a coffee. Go have something to eat. Mama does some fantastic food from the kitchen. And also, if you want a request for my next show, which I don't know when that will be, I will see how things go, because there's a lot to do before I whiz back to the UK for that little short period of time to see me mum. I will see what I can do, but I'll definitely put your request in for the next time I make a show when I get back. Right, that's it from me. And as I sit here now, I think I can hear the sound of rain, I think, beginning here in Macardo. Oh, I haven't said hello to anybody this morning, have I? Right, got to say a quick hello to Amanda Gregory up there at the top of Macardo in Folotix, I think how you pronounce it, up there. Nice to have you tuning in. Brett Weston, nice to see you. Also, Kicking Karaoke, Sarah May, nice to have you watching in as well. Also, Louise Green, nice to see you. Peter Atkins, I still haven't found out if that's Peter Atkins from Kefalonia. He says, morning, Ginge, have you wet the bed? No, I'm just up early. Don't forget, we're 2 hours behind if you're in the UK. All right. George Morton, Tanya is watching. Oh, there's an interesting name. I'm not sure if I have you here, George. Hillary Rogers is watching. Good old Hillary, could always rely on her. As well as Aaron Vardy, nice to have you in as well. Steve Kimberley, he's also tuning in. He says, Galamera Ginge, Galamera Steve, nice to have you looking in, Steve. Steve Hodgson is also watching as well. Elaine Finnegan is watching. David Scooby, Scooby-Dooby-Doo. I bet everybody says that when they talk to you, don't they? He goes, yeah, everybody does, and it's getting annoying. Anyway, thank you, Dave Scooby. Are you Raf Reg, Dave Scooby? I'm trying to remember. With a name like that, I'm sure you must have been. Jamie McKay Gunn, she's watching as well. It says, morning, nice to have you with us. Derek and Bridget Cole, nice to have you tuning in. I think Derek and Bridget, if I remember rightly, are you in Cyprus? I'm trying to remember. Steve Hodgson says, good morning, Ginge. First day back at work in a month. Please, no fires today. No, you might not have fires, but you might have flooding. Have you thought of that? No, he probably hasn't. He says, yeah, and flooding I always think is worse than fire. That's my own personal opinion, because at least with a fire, it's destroyed, it's gone. With flooding, it never's the same after it dries out, is it? So anyway, Steve Hodgson, he's a firefighter up there in County Durham. He's not from Middlesbrough, but County Durham. Nice to have you there, Steve, as well. Jim Hughes is watching. Nice to have you there as well, Jim. Tommy Burns, nice to see you. Raf Reg fella. James Buchanan, nice Raf Reg guy as well, tuning in. Sally down there in Kalamaki, also the owner of Ramirez Restaurant, who unfortunately is not open at the moment. She's enjoying a time off. And yesterday she was online and all she was talking about was poached eggs, making me feel very hungry because I was on my fasting day. Debbie Wollston-Tone is also looking in. Matt Pickard is looking in. Greg Phillips is looking in. Andrew Watson is there. Martin Cussell, also a first line worker in the NHS. He's also watching in. Nice to have you with us, Martin. Neil Aguirre is in there. Paul Markham says, morning, Ginge. And Dave Coldwell is watching as well. Now, Dave Coldwell, if I remember rightly, I think that is Dave from the United States of America. He's an ex-military man, and he's tuning in as well. Right, that's it from me for today. Have I got anything else to say before I disappear away? Yes, just one last thing. In my show today, I make a special announcement to a very nice fella by the name of Ian Jot Black, who passed away. He was approaching his 61st birthday. He was diagnosed with cancer, and very quietly he tried to fight it as best he could. Didn't make a fuss, didn't make a noise about it. Anyway, he passed away, and his funeral was on the other day. It was on Wednesday, his funeral was. So I know a lot of the lads from 2 Squadron and also from the RAF Reg in general were all giving their condolences and passing their comments. There's 3 tracks for you, fella, in today's show, and as I was doing it. Anyway, that's it from me for today. I will see you tomorrow, see how the weekend pans out, and once again, take care, have a good day, and I'll see you again soon. Ta-ra.